Well, folks, the end of each show, Mike always asks you to send in some questions. So Mike's got some questions right now. So let's answer some of them.
Okay. First question: where do you see Jacksonville Jaguars going this season?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Well, with all their drama going on, and
they look, unless they get a quarterback. I mean, I don't see them.
I mean, Nick Foles is out until probably week 11.
Right. Well, let's look at that. You got the let's see the playoff teams as of week 2. You have obviously the Patriots, Kansas City,
Buffalo,
Ravens, and who's leading the AFC South down there? So, the Chiefs, Raiders, then Chargers are all got to win. AFC North, Ravens, maybe the Browns, Colts. This one's interesting. Colts, Texans, and Titans right there. So I just don't see, without a quarterback move, I don't see your Jaguars doing anything.
I mean, what do you think they'll do with the incident that happened over the weekend with the coach and the player? I mean,
Jalen Ramsey demanding. I mean, you can't start letting these guys run things like the NBA's done. You gotta, just because somebody's losing doesn't mean you're part of the team. You don't deserve to go win anymore just because you're better. So what? They're paying you. Do your job.
And if they don't, who do you think, if Jacksonville did reach out to an NFL team, who do you think they reach out for a quarterback? Do you think they'll
call said Eli Manning?
Eli Manning. Do you think they'll call Stan Bradford, tell him, hey, do you want to come up and play? Or
I don't think he wants any part of that locker room.
So you think maybe they'll win that last games after Nick Foles comes back, you think?
Well, yeah, they might get back on a roll then. But what was your next question?
Do you think the Steelers will fire their head coach? I know we talked briefly about it.
Not this year. I mean, I think he gets a pass. Just the fact that they traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick tells me they're not throwing in the towel. That they're in the win now mode. They seem like they believe in Mason Rudolph. They believe their running game's going to get untracked, and they think their defense will come out of this funk. So,
I mean, why do you think people are asking for him to be fired already? Do you think just because people just don't like?
Well, they just got so used to winning. They got, and the whole AB thing. When a lot of that stuff started leaking out, how they were catering to him and all this, and Tomlin wasn't putting his foot down and putting him in check or anything. That they just felt like he'd lost the team. Because you hear these guys whispering behind Tomlin's back, and so anyway, no, I think he keeps his job this year. Depending on how they finish, he probably gets to keep it next year because, like we alluded to, they just don't fire people.
Okay, third question. What team has surprised you in the NFL?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Really?
I realized they hadn't, just played, the 72 Dolphins every week, but just how, Dak Prescott's come out there and completed 80% of his passes, and how their offense has just rolled people. That's a surprise team for me. And then other surprise teams is how bad the Steelers were. That surprised me a lot. The other surprise everybody's talking about is the Ravens.
Oh yeah,
just they're throttling the life out of everyone. I mean that. And the way that Lamar Jackson's been able to tear people up from the pocket as well as the running, so that's the surprise of surprise teams is the Ravens.
What about the NFC West? I mean,
those teams are all good.
I mean,
if you watch the draft and the free agency and moves and all this, you saw this coming. I mean,
everyone has a winning record. Everyone's undefeated other than the Cardinals,
right?
But that is a very tough division this year. And I'm kind of shocked, truthfully, to see the Packers.
Yeah. Not blowing people out, just.
Because the games that they've won have been very low scoring.
That's what I'm saying. That's not typical Packers stuff. They're playing defense, so winning with defense. But my thing is the Ravens are
okay. Will Miami win a game this year,
No.
what would you say that their issues are? I mean, I know
Well, I mean, talent, lack thereof. They're just depleted. I mean, they have a fire sale going on. Like for the first week of the season, they're trading off Laramie Tunsil. They're starting left tackle, former first round pick, and they're just giving guys away. They gave Robert Quinn away to the Cowboys for nothing, basically, except money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so yeah, just getting rid of everyone. I mean, they're not even trying to win.
Do you think they are playing for like a 3-year window to come back and win?
Well, I mean, they're taking right now to get that first pick. Whether it's going to be the quarterback from Oregon or the quarterback from Alabama. But it's so weird because they just traded for former first round pick Josh Rosen. So they're like, are they just going to give up on this kid and think no, he's not the guy? But that's the way it looks because they don't have anybody there to protect him
or catch the ball.
They got rid of Kenny Stills, their leading receiver. So yeah, they're not trying to win.
I mean, and I feel sorry for Miami. They're actually coming to Dallas this weekend. Other question: what division has improved or not improved that you seen this year?
Who has not improved? Oh,
who has improved first?
Who's not improved?
Yes.
Let's go. Who's not improved? AFC North. I mean, with the Steelers 0-2, Browns 1-1, the Bengals 0-2, and the Ravens 2-0. And then with the quagmire of the AFC South with the Colts and Texans and Jaguars. I mean, the improvement. I mean, you look out there and you just see that AFC West, man. I mean, there's some tough teams over there. Rams, 49ers, and the Seahawks. Those guys all look real good right now. And we'll all shake out once they start playing each other. But yeah, those are the things.
What about the NFC East? Have they, improved or about the same?
Injuries at quarterback now. The Giants are getting rid of their quarterback. The Eagles are just banged all up now. Redskins, I don't even know what they're trying to do. I mean, are they going to bring Colt McCoy back and let him have a shot at this, or are they just finally going to, okay, Haskins, this is you, and let's go?
What about the improvement over in the NFC, with the Packers and all that?
Do you see it as improved? I don't. When I watch the Bears and how bad they look offensively, I'm like, whoa. But Detroit's Detroit.
Mm-hmm. The defense is better for the Packers, definitely better.
And their offense doesn't look explosive at all.
The Packers did cut. Matthews is now with the Rams, which he is actually done good.
Yep.
Which is kind of
Yep.
And then, do you see any college coach jumping from college to the NFL next season?
The one I think is most likely is going to be a shocker to some people, but Matt Rule. He had a chance, Baylor head coach. He had a chance to go to the Colts this year, but he turned it down because they wanted him to keep the Colts staff, and the previous coach just walked out on after taking the job, and he turned it down because he wants his own staff because those guys will never be loyal to him. So Matt Rule, he is immensely respected. Nobody outside of just hardcore football fans know who he is, but the NFL is very aware of him.
How many coaches do you think could get fired this year?
Too early to tell. You'd have to wait till around
week 6,
week 8 when you see who's underperforming, because the law of averages says half the teams that made the playoffs last year won't make them this year. Half of them. So those are going to be seen as underachieving teams. You don't know what the owners or GMs are going to be like. So just a little early for me to answer that one yet.
What other quarterback, college quarterback will move up?
The quarterback, you said what quarterback's coming out of retirement?
Yeah, to kind of maybe. How about a team? Who do you see? Like if you had a couple of quarterbacks out there,
Sam Bradford.
Anyone else?
Just him.
Why do you pick Sam Bradford?
More accurate. I mean, if you stuck Sam Bradford behind a line like the Cowboys, I think he could really do well. It's just the teams he's played on. The Rams never gave him any protection, and he was hurt a lot. And the year he was at the Vikings, when he had a relatively healthy line, he had a 70% completion percentage for the year, which was like top 4 in NFL history. So yeah, that would be the guy.
So where do you see? What team would you think would make that phone call?
None
right now.
They're going to wait, but I mean, if I'm the Steelers, I'm like, hey, if Mason Rudolph's not the answer, what are we going to do? I mean, if we're in win now mode, and if their offensive line can get it together like they should be, that would be a good play.
What about the Jaguars?
Like I said earlier, I don't think he wants to go in that locker room. With guys like Jalen Ramsey and them, fighting with the coaches. Nobody wants to be a part of that. Nope, that's childish. That's inmates running the asylum, so to speak.
Go back to another question we had earlier about what team has improved. What about the Bills?
I mean, that's a surprise, but it just hasn't been in surprising fashion the way the Ravens just blown people out. We knew going into the year, the Bills had the second-rated defense in NFL last year. So them holding people to 14 or 17 points and them, outscoring them by 3s wasn't that surprising to me. Now, if they do that to the Patriots, then okay, I'll look up and say, okay, you got my attention. But as of now, no, man.
Do you see them maybe possibly play out like a wild card?
Yeah, I mean, defense. You've been looking at some of these scores we went through last week, and there was a lot of 17-10 and a lot of teams winning with less than 20 points. Mm-hmm. So that's right in their wheelhouse.
I think there was we counted at least 6 teams that were very close within. I mean, I think about the Broncos game, that was within a couple of points, and that was just a fluke play that happened. But do you see any other college coaches maybe making it as assistants in the NFL right now? Or getting promoted to other than the one that you were suggesting from Baylor?
I mean, the one that everybody's talking about that everybody wants is the coach at Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley. But he would only come out for something like the Dallas Cowboys or something, some big marquee. And they'd have to have the quarterback there that can operate his offense or have the first pick in the draft where he can, but why would he leave Oklahoma? The minute you sign your contract to coach in the NFL, the clock is ticking on you're going to get fired. I mean, they all get fired. Tom Landry got fired. Bill Walsh got run out of town. I mean, I don't care what you do, you're going to get fired in that league. So why would you do that when you can stay at Oklahoma and coach there 20-something years and be one of the 5 highest paid college coaches forever and never have to worry about getting fired? Yeah, that'd just be foolish.
Right.
So, yeah. I was reading something on the Bleacher Report, and they had their NFL trade block big board entering week 3. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, you know what? We could talk more about that and any NFL news, injury reports. You guys stay tuned. This is the VIP Sportsnet show with Jim and Michael, and we'll be right back.